Ah yes, a voxel engine. I'm sure no one did anything like this before, ever. What? They did? Dude, what the fuck? In this video, I'll tell you my story. The ray tracing library that went from this to this. The engine I'm about to show you is the very best one I've ever created. Yeah, there are others out there. I know. Besides, my stuff is open source. Check it out at the link below. I've been a programmer for more than 12 years now. I even have multiple hobby projects. It's refreshing to switch it up a bit when you have had enough of a project. Which happens. Instead of quitting it, you can just park it. Touch grass. Try something different. And then you can revisit it whenever you feel like it later on. My previous project went on for 6 years until I've had enough. It peaked during the first phases of the AI boom, but I found myself really disconnected from the topic and I was really disappointed at AI in general. I felt like I wanted to switch it up a bit. I've decided to target gaming this time since I just love the instant feedback you get when doing prototypes. At that point, the only feedback I was used to was watching a single number go down. 6 years of this is a long stretch. I wanted to try something different, so I've built a few prototypes to see what could be fun. Spaceship games, an office-themed Metroidvania, a zombie dating sim. Yeah, thankfully the last one never came to be. There is a best practice in game dev circles that says your first game should be the simplest, and you should limit your ambitions at first so that you can have something you can actually finish. Well, anyway, since I wanted to learn Rust, I thought I'd try myself in an open world with huge maps, with multiplayer, and a lot of, well, unrelated features that I thought would be really great and really ambitious and wonderful and amazing. I had an idea where you play as a treasure hunter in a large open map. Once you find something, other players can snatch it from you, so you have to hide it in your stash, which is kind of like your secret base inside the map. So I did a little test character, puzzled some pieces together from here and there. I've used the Bevy engine for this. It looked really promising, and then it went to the map, and specifically the terrain was quite a challenge from the get-go, and I was obsessed with it for some reason. I mean, yeah, I wanted the visuals to be amazing, so I ended up working on it for far more than I should have. The project I'm getting to started out as a container for the terrain, while the display of the terrain itself was using meshes generated on the fly. A mesh is like a triangle soup you feed into the GPU, and as a result it spits out images. They are pretty neat, but they also have their own set of unique challenges, especially if you are inexperienced and ambitious at the same time. The visuals I managed to create is this mixed low poly blocky style, which wasn't great, but it was working. It was a start. So I tried to move on, except I couldn't. I could not stand the viewing distance of the map because I thought it was really small, which would not really work with my great master vision. So I started researching to see what I could do with this. At this point, I was borderline burnt out because I felt like I was stuck. I felt like I should be focusing on something else. The game felt like a mess. It didn't really have the bang to it that I was hoping. Everything was just plain wrong. So how did I solve this? With Escapism, of course. I wanted to have a project next which stimulates me, helps me gain experience in Rust, preferably has maths in it, and is visually, conceptually interesting. So I thought, hey, I've been struggling with this very specific tiny detail in my current project. Why don't I try exactly that? You didn't have to cut me off. But how about I try failing at ray tracing this time? That way I can use this new project in the previous one once it's finished. Or if it fails, I will have gained some experience in the process and a new perspective. So it's a win either way. And here we are, almost 3 years later, and I am thrilled to present my library. I can do just above 60 FPS on full HD, and I implemented a streaming technique that makes it possible to display an infinite octree, where only the visible parts are on the GPU. It's not perfect yet. You can sometimes see holes in the data, but in all fairness, it is stuffing about 100 megabytes into the GPU at once from a 1 gigabyte model, so I think it isn't too bad. At this stage, I'm mainly shoveling juice into this because I need it for the future features. Features like lightning, shadows, refraction, reflections, standard ray tracing stuff. And I am dead set on improving this. Level of detail optimizations, rendering improvements, you name it. There are also some interesting debugging renders I use to catch bugs, but I mainly post those on Blue Sky. For now, I will continue with this as long as my belief that this is bringing something good into the world of voxels stays alive, or the project is finished. The main purpose of these videos are to get people to make games with this, as this is a rendering engine, not a game. I repeat, not a game. So, if you are an aspiring game dev, go ahead and give this a try, or if you are interested in the magic that puts this together, go ahead and check out the code. You can do that as it's open source fully. Just write an issue or something when you're stuck, I'll be here to help. As for the future, I am planning to add an overview of the library soon. As the intro story for this got really long, it seemed appropriate to do so as a separate upload. So let me know what you think, and I'd also love to know what videos you'd like to see. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. This means a lot, especially if you watched it all the way. Thank you. Bye.